It's all right for now.
Oh, looks like
We're live on the. Are we live on Roblox?
no. YouTube is just catching up. It just caught up. Here we
Oh
goes.
damn!
There we go. YouTube is live now. Cool.
We got
Finally.
a subscription from Small Water Cussin. Hell yeah!
Small. Yo, what's up, Small Waters? Thank you so much for that 9 months, man. Welcome back. Put 9. That's our baby. That's our whole stream, baby.
Damn,
I'm not the peppy.
damn.
All right, cool. I think we got everything on the tubes and on the Twitch.
I'm doing rod repairs on the fly.
That man is looking at that purple light with intent to blind himself.
I got safety glasses on, so we're good.
They're not UV protected safety glasses.
What?
Oh, now you're blind.
You know, to really appreciate Helen Keller and her struggle.
Mm. I was beating up the home pond before the stream.
How'd it go?
It was all right. A little rain. Got those fish a little worked up. I think another angler, new family just moved in. I think they hooked into the 7-pound behemoth and broke off on her with a rooster tail. So
There's your problem.
yeah, I wonder how she's gonna fare with a rooster tail in her now. Hopefully she can shake the hook.
If it's a stock one, then the hook will probably disintegrate in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, hopefully. But I mean, she's still got to get through all the fucking beads and wiring. If it's
Not. It's just a phase.
oh
Just
man,
a little bit of identity crisis.
so
I
she'll
feel
see.
bad for the fish that broke me off a month ago, swimming around with a whole ass pad crasher in its mouth.
Yo, you got a pad crasher and some just a little bit of braided line with them, just a little bit.
But my
For
hopes and dreams are dead in there somewhere too. But anyways, enough about that. We'll let the people trickle in.
oh, that your last video was really good.
I saw a comment. Thanks
It's really
for viewership. Don't forget to subscribe and like and hit that notification button so that way you can never go to sleep.
good. I don't think that's how that works, but yes, I have all those clicked.
Hell yeah. No, I got to put one up from last weekend, man. I got more topwater bites in the past 2 weekends than I probably did, like, not all last year, but a majority
That's
of
good,
last year.
man. You hit it. You
So that
hit
means
that time.
they're setting to piss me off, man. They're ready to fucking annihilate my self-esteem. This is going to be great.
Yeah, they got you conditioned for failure.
Holy hell.
It happens. It happens.
But y'all been getting rain. Have y'all been getting rain all week so far?
Yeah, yeah. It is. It has been a wet one. It has been wet. I think it stops tomorrow. I think we just get like cloudy, overcastish. Should be decent. Should be decent.
Yeah, we got 70s still lined up for the weekend, so that'll be fun. Maybe. Unless you're doing weekend work for jail.
I don't even know what I'm doing this weekend. There's a tournament, but I'm not entering that one. Oh shoot! Next week is the native no limit. Sheesh, on Lake Norman.
Is Greg going to be there?
I don't think he's going to do the North Carolina one. I think he's only going to. They already did the California one. My buddy Dominic won that one. So, no, I don't think he's making that trip out.
Does that mean we can start spreading the rumors that he's scared to come out here?
He already came out here. He went to South Carolina, and he went to what you call Richard B. Russell, Dick Russell Lake.
Dickie Russell, hell yeah.
He went out to Dickie Russell and came in 6th place or 10th place or something like that. He did all right. I'm gonna.
I'll have to make some calls.
Yeah, I ain't gonna call him out here to whoop us again.
We don't have no In-N-Out burgers, so
Bruh, that's true.
not yet.
Yeah, when he fails, the in and out come out quick. Small Water said you getting live scope.
I don't even have my boat right now. I'm still waiting. I haven't even. I dropped the boat off not last Friday, but the Friday prior. And dude's either busy or he just started looking at my shit and was like, I don't know how I'm gonna tell this dude this shit's not ever gonna work again.
Yeah, I hit a dude up for my trolling motor last month, and he said he's gonna call me back the week after I called him. It's been a month.
He didn't say what year though.
He did not. I'm thoroughly disappointed.
Like 2028, your phone's ringing. All right, bro, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Oh, dog. We're sight coasting Kobe is now, dog. You got to get up to spec. No, I got to get the boat back. My starter's probably going in my car, so that'll be fun because one day I'm going to go turn it on and ain't nothing going to happen. So we're excited about that, let me tell you.
One thing, it's the next.
The bills keep showing up in the mailbox without fail. Even after the identity theft. Anyways,
hey,
all right.
He's scamming.
So what's on the so it's almost June. Next week will be June.
Next week is June, man.
What's that mean? What's that mean for the tournament trail, the general focus of activities, the autograph signing? What's that mean? What's that looking like?
I don't even think I've signed any autographs. I haven't even checked my schedule. Let me head over here. I don't think I have anything planned other than. Oh no, I say that there is the No Limit Native tournament on the 7th. Then we have a tournament at Tuckertown on the 14th, and then I'm on break from the 14th all the way until July 19th. So I got 3 tournaments this month.
On break, I like that.
Yeah, I was on break this month. After the 17th, I went on break, and I haven't done any tournaments. And the 7th of June will be my first. So, is that next week or in 2 weeks? I'm so confused.
That's next week.
Yeah, that's next week. Dang, we in there.
Saturday.
Yep. Got to go to Lake Norman and do some things.
So explain to the people the No Limit format because it is a unique situation.
Oh man, it's straight up MLF style. I like it. So still CPR, catch, photo, release. They might make you record, but so CPRR, and catch as many bass over 14 inches as possible to get into the rankings. But what it's really about is catching the biggest fish every hour, and or catching the biggest fish of the event. Every fish per hour is $1,000 plus whatever sponsors chip in. So you can sometimes have a $1,200 pot for each hour. You can win multiple hours. Biggest fish also gets a native Titan 12.5. Yeah,
damn.
Propel. Yeah, Titan X Propel. The new Jean.
It's like $3,000, right? $3,000.
36 to 3,800. Yeah.
Golly.
With Trump tariff, probably like a 4K boat.
Dang.
Surprise! Lake Norman really doesn't pump out big fish. Biggest fish you'll probably find on Norman. I think a gentleman won. Kayak guy who went boating to the boater side. He's won the Big Bass tournament twice. I don't think last year, but the 2 years prior. The 3 years ago, he got a 6.5, 7 pounder, and then 2 years ago, I think it was a 6.5 to something. But there's really not too many over 8 pounders you'll find on Norman. But yeah, a lot of Alabama bass and a couple of largemouth.
Do they have recommendations for the invasive species?
Norman has not culled in the last 30 years. They have no programs yet, which I'm still flabbergasted by. They had so many programs to kill grass. They had so many programs for dock management, but they have no program for Alabama bass culling.
So they want to watch the world burn.
Yeah, and just thrive all throughout that area. And people who can't catch fish normally take those fish to places where they know they can't catch fish, so that they can mess it up for everybody, and then they can catch fish, tiny fish, their whole remaining life. Places, places crazy. My experience with Norman has been up and down. Last couple of years has been really bad. I
Oh,
my trolling motor got stolen or misplaced and or abducted there.
how does that happen?
Man, I don't even know. I tried to explain it to the insurance company. I tried to explain it to the police department that never responded back to me. Like, nobody cares.
What the hell?
Lake Norman.
All right, so if you're into thievery and invasive species, this is going to be a great event.
No, I mean it's gonna be good. The place fish is lights out. It's always a fun experience if you go there, but it's just a rough fishery because if you wind up fishing and you start catching a lot of 12s, you probably got to go a pretty far away to get away from those 12 inchers. But you'll catch plentiful. I'm talking plentiful.
How many people they? How many people are showing up to these events? Is it like in the hundreds? I think it's in the hundreds, right?
Yeah, the no limit tournaments normally get 75 to about 150 to 200. I think California had about 150. And there's more incentives. The higher entries you get, the more money hourly also goes up. So it definitely helps to have a really high participation rate. I believe the home trail there will be doing. I think this goes with their seasonal trail, so they have to participate for their AOI points. So it should be pretty dope.
So a good 200 people all converging, and then the wakeboarding and the jet skiers.
That's another problem there too. Is it's timed up with the perfect storm of those early summer pleasure boaters. I'll be fishing. I'll be fishing near a ramp probably the whole day, so it won't even matter until it's time for everybody to come back in, and we got a swarm of like 50 boats coming in.
All right.
What about you? What do you got planned for the next month, fishing wise?
No, man, it ain't. I'm going down to Lake Norman with my wake boat.
Wow.
And we're going to.
What a coincidence.
I mean, I've been collecting a lot of used car batteries, and normally they end up in the ocean, but we're trying to spread the wealth,
diversify your bonds.
Artificial reefs in the freshwater, right? I mean, it's
stacking batteries on top of each other. Yeah, that's a great way to keep the fish.
Oh my gosh, it's electrifying.
Oof.
To say the least, to say the most. No, we gotta get the boat back. It's interesting because I think there's been a fair amount of folks that are watching, like some of the higher end tournament trails have been doing a. They've been I was looking today and watched a clip where they talked about like the Elite Series. They've done 6 events and 3 of them have been tidal river systems.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because I think it's really putting. I mean, it kind of separates, right? Because it's really only people that are near the coastlines that have quite literally those type of opportunities. But think about like the strong emphasis on live sonar in the past few years, the marketing influences as well that have gone into it, and then compare that to like these dudes that are going up doing the title thing, and they're not sticking fishing 40 feet of water staring at a screen. It's interesting to see some of the consequences from like both the content creator side of thing, because I mean, like people are paying attention to a lot of these situations that are going on in the different like bodies of water, and it's moving people. Like people are taking the time to go to those kind of places now, right? And it's very interesting to see some of the higher profile baits to use in May, and now the June videos are starting to hit the tubes. Um, they're having to adjust and talk about different things. Get the people motivated to go, because their sponsors are probably telling them like, "Yo, we need to stop selling these damn minnow plastics. Y'all need to start getting back into the the bigger dollar stuff." And so we'll see. I don't know. So I'm thinking I might as well just go ahead, because we got some here close enough to where probably do some running around and seeing what that's like. Be interesting to see what that. I mean, it's probably gonna get more crowded. Prices for everything's going up, so the used market right now, especially for folks that are looking to upgrade, are benefiting from the people that have upgraded. Around here, we have a lot of military folks, and they start getting their different orders and stuff for if they have to relocate around this time, so that way they'll be piecing out in the middle of summer. So they're starting to put stuff, because they're not going to pay for freight for like kayaks and stuff like that.
Oh man, so you're actually seeing like the full wave of deployments, and I love it. That's pretty cool.
I mean, if I can get a deal on a sun dolphin, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna be out there like Flipper. So I mean, it's interesting. There's more people in the tackle shops. I mean, it's a great thing. Like, people are going out, they're buying stuff, man. Like the scene's alive. We got one of our local John boat tournament situation. They're going to be at one of the lakes real close to me this upcoming weekend, and it's supposed to be a pretty decent weather situation. So they're probably going to do really good, which is good, right? It's going to grow things, and it's going to stimulate a little bit more excitement. Among other things. So that'll be, I mean, I'm keeping it, because I'm not in it right now. I will be at some point, but right now I'm still kind of from the outside looking in, looking at trends and stuff.
For sure.
And that kind of segues a little bit like what we're talking about from like a title perspective. Let's emphasize to the people what it means to not work harder than the fish. I think we're falling into traps way too often.
We've always fallen into traps
without even knowing it, until it's too late. It doesn't. We don't have to make this complicated, and a lot of folks do. And if it's supposed to be fun, I get it, right? If you're in competition, it makes sense, especially when you're talking like, good money. I get it. But like most of the folks that are watching now, probably it's safe to assume they're not doing that very often, if at all.
Yeah, I must say most of our communities aren't competitive tournament fishermen or women, and I think that's like probably my favorite thing about our community is so diverse that we can see how people break down water, how people look at water, how people fish, and all the different fishing styles. I've always found that really interesting.
It's the diversity, the variety. Things don't get too stale, because if you don't like one thing, you can go find something new. You're not pigeonholed into one particular type of style or even species for that matter. It gives an opportunity, I think, for folks to kind of get out of that, like, because it's easy to put your blinders up and not even realize it, and be so hyper focused on a specific tactic or specific component of gear or equipment or anything like that. I mean, it's difficult to not fall into the traps. Because the marketing's going to be there. We understand that.
Social media marketing always going to throw it at you.
Content creators in general. But I mean, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's just, it's really, really easy, though, to get caught up in it. And it's a distraction, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If anything, it'll distract you before it'll, like, give you some type of motivation to go out and do the damn thing. Which sucks, but at the same time, I mean, the emphasis, or at least, is like, we're trying to make it to where we got to hopefully, go out, strip down, the bear, like, you can have a wall of freaking, like I have in front of me as I'm looking at a wall of all this crap, but you don't need that. And it's hard, like option overload. We've talked about it. So this all comes back into the same general vicinity, but still, as like a lot of the content creator folks, there's a lot of other people that broadcast and do the live stream thing that watch this, as well as in general are waiting to get out and do the different things that they're into. Um, I don't know, man. Like I'm all about not falling into a groove that just ends up being more frustrating than rewarding. And I don't know what that looks like for everybody because everybody's got their own thing. But that's how I boiled it down, and that's where like the title comes from, as far as not working harder than the fish. At the end of the day, they don't they don't give a damn what you're throwing, what you're not throwing. They don't give a damn what clothes you're wearing. They don't give a damn who's your favorite pro. They don't care what boat you got. They don't care if you even got a boat. They don't care, and they won't care.
No, they're just out there trying to survive day by day.
It's their life. They're just they're just swimming in shit. You know what I mean? Like it's not that big of a deal. Um, but I don't think that it's uncommon for a lot of folks, especially, like I'm in an office 40 plus hours a week, and every now and again I'll get a chance to jump on and throw YouTube up or whatever and see kind of what's getting posted or whatever. And how many tactical basset videos showing the new gear and the new this, that, and the other. Like, I mean, they're doing a great job. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they're doing a fantastic job. Um, but like, I can only buy but so many uh, Shimano high end reels before I'm like, okay, I want to use them now, and that becomes kind of lost in it because I mean they're out there every day,
Oh man.
and that's a great thing. Um, I don't know, man. It's like, you know, as much as somebody you can tell people to not hyper focus on that stuff, it's difficult, and the drama, which we've talked about, all the different talking points, a bunch of grown men, acting like they're at the high school cafeteria. Um,
That's the watering
yeah,
hole, man. That they just chit chatting at the watering hole.
yeah, that's always going to be a thing, but now it's just so damn easy to find all that kind of stuff. So I'm interested, and if any of the other viewers wanted to put in some perspective, like how or what kind of tactics, and there's no real wrong answer, so to speak, but like how do how do your people out in 2025 that have connection to some level of content creation and social media? If you're watching this, you have some level of connection to content creators and social media. Like, how do you draw that barrier or that line, or even just a boundary between you and your maintaining your objectives and the things that you are focused on, while also being receptive to the content, but just not allowing it to kind of like,
Get that
uh,
inception. It'll
sure,
infiltrate and you'll. I guess you're saying how do you draw a line from being influenced by influencers? I like it.
or is that even a thing? I don't know. Maybe that's asking too much.
Mm-hmm. I would
Maybe you
say
have to be Amish.
I'll, I'll give a quick example, and it's not from influencers. It's just my ignorance and outward looking process to the lake that I was fishing. Um, we had that tournament on Lake James a couple of weeks back. I haven't made it. I haven't even done a post dangle clarity. I only caught 2 fish on tournament day. But going back to the thought process, my ignorance going in, I had a really good practice. I found them on docks, and I was throwing a little minnow. Right. I was like, okay. In my head, we'll go with the ignorance. That was the play, because even coming into the thought process of going to Lake James, clear water reservoir, smallmouth, largemouth, I got this. That was the thought process. I know that. Oh, and Alabama spots. So just fish docks, figure them out. Fish docks, figure them out. Fish docks or fish laydowns. Practice went good. Day one practice was meh. Day two practice was on fire. I found so much stuff. I was like, okay. And then fishing day comes, same kind of process. It rains. I thought the fish might have turned on with the rain. They didn't. Lo and behold, I should have adapted, looked at, or got away from that idea that I should be throwing that little swimming guy around the docks. I started throwing a jig, and sure enough, I started getting bit. I threw a wacky rig. Sure enough, got bit. I got one fish on a little minnow, but then I got the other fish on a jig. But then I'm sitting there with live scope watching the fish, And I also learned something new on boat docks on those little steel pilings on scope. You just got to throw to them, because when you throw to them, the fish that are on the piling will come out and show themselves, because I didn't know that was a thing. Or or they'll run away, but you'll know that they're there. So when I couldn't find my fish, it was because I didn't really take the time to realize that they're there, but they're just hidden in a certain different direction. But working harder than the fish was definitely the thought process. I was definitely influenced by my own ideas of how the fish should have been set up, and they weren't based off of that. But yeah, it sucked. But I don't think I was there. There was no outside influence other than my own internal ignorant influence to the fishing.
So you did it to yourself.
I did it to myself.
Damn.
I definitely did it to myself.
Well, I hope you learned your lesson.
I definitely did. But in segueing to that, and I know we were talking about drawing a line. What if, and just perspective wise, what if you were influenced, but you're still in a, we'll say, technical learning phase? You learn a new technique from an influencer that like sticks. Like, do you? I don't know. That's fine. I guess you're learning. Yeah, never mind. It's just a learning thing. I'm making it. I'm thinking about it too deep.
No such thing. And we got our PFDs on, so you can get deep.
Splash.
Just not that deep. Well, so there's this idea, and I read this somewhere. Maybe I made it up.
Hey,
anyway,
banana.
it doesn't matter. That a lot of the social media, the content creation is almost taken like it's the mentor role, right? So imagine you wanted to get into this kind of thing, and you don't really have like somebody, a friend or a family member that kind of does this kind of stuff. So you're getting that mentorship from the media and from the content creation. And it's like, okay, well, this is opening the door. It's saying, oh, I never thought about trying this, but I just watched that video, or I saw a post about this. Great. That can lead to an awesome opportunity to put something together that may not have been exposed to otherwise. I think the magazines back in the day, like I had an active, Bassmaster subscription from the time I was like 9 years old until 20. And like, I would cut out, like physically remove different articles that I thought were like, I want to sit down and like really look at this. So like I go through the whole issue and I'd find like, all right, this is like something worthwhile. This doesn't, and kind of, create this, just large, like I had a 3-ring binder because I just had to do it like that. Just don't worry.
Dang, you punched the holes in them, boys?
I was punching. I had the 3-hole punch. I had the hole reinforcement, the little white ones that you can put on your screen if you played first-person shooter games, and it would show where your fire is going to be if you hit fired it.
Okay, yeah.
So when I wasn't putting them on my TV screen, I was putting them on the articles I cut out so I could put them in the 3-ring binder.
My man had a collection of dots.
I mean, all right, so you're not going to use and do all those things all the time, and that's fine. But I think it's nice to have options. I think it's nice to have, to get outside of the comfort zone. I think learning or trying to learn new things keeps it interesting for people, regardless of your skill level or how far you plan to take it. But that also opens up the door to working harder than the fish.
That's true.
So I don't like that balance. It's difficult, and it can change, and every person will take it a different way. And I think that's what separates the people that take it serious and put in the time and the effort and the research versus the folks that just want to go out and do something for a few hours on the afternoon when the weather's nice. That's fine. But like, at what point does it become, I think there's a lot of hyper focus on things that are outside of like, what can I do to go have fun? Gets very blurry with, well, what are other people doing to have fun? Because as well as I do, like this is one of the type of sports hobbies, whatever you want to call it. There is a lot of attention on what other people are doing. And, we're talking either looking at what people have tied on at the boat ramp or, when you see people blur the background on social media when they have like their fish picks.
Yeah, they're in their hole, dog. They in the zone.
I don't. I mean, I understand why they do it, but it's like, if you run a guide service and you're advertising for your guide service, okay, I get it. But if you're a dude that just goes out every couple weekends, why are you blurring the background? Why?
Yeah, it's deep. They don't have their PFD on.
And I just like, oh no, I recognize that cloud, dog. Your shit is fried. I'm going out there next week. No. And I had actually posted, there was a dude locally that had posted a picture at a spot that I go to a lot.
Yeah.
The only reason I knew where he was is because the house that was in the background I see often.
Yeah.
And there was this like toy car, like one of those like little Tykes cars in one of somebody's backyard that's at the spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I had posted a response saying like, oh man, because he had picked a couple fish off a tree, like a laydown,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew exactly which one from looking at the background. I was like, yeah, man, that spot always. I basically said like I can never figure out what those fish over there want, so I'm glad to see. I was basically not saying anything threatening. I was literally congratulating them on figuring out what the hell they wanted because I could never.
Yeah, because you can.
And he hits me like, well, how did you know where I am? Like, did you recognize? And he was being, it was, it wasn't like mean or anything. He said like, do you recognize the toy car? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm the one that parked it there. You know what I mean? Like, it just turns into this whole big like problem. And especially like, we've got a local group here for bass fishing people to post stuff on Facebook, and like nobody wants to say what they use ever. Like nobody wants, like they'll tell you, they may tell you where they went, but they won't tell you what they were throwing.
Gotcha.
More often than not. Why? Why do we do this? And it's rhetorical, but at the same time, I'm curious, like what are we so like trying to protect our ability to have a great time that we're just willing to flaunt it and protect it? Like, I'm not sure the motivation that somebody would have to go to that extreme, and now it's just like a fucking ego thing, and now people what I mean, like it just creates. I think
exactly.
it sends.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, well, see, now I'm pissed, so I'll be golfing next week.
Yeah, and I'll just segue in. I've always seen that as an ego. I mean, but we are in the social media look at me phase. This is normal. I always took it as. I've always taken it as a look at me, especially if there's no details with it. But at the same time, I don't think I don't. Banana says if you ask, they would tell you. I think that also has a strong line, because if it's ego driven, you can run into the wrong person if you start asking the question. Yeah, and that's pretty much what it is, One True Morty. I've always seen it as, hey, this is my spot. This is what I catch them on. I don't want you at my spot catching them like I'm catching them. And it's so weird, especially if it's a public area. It's so weird. But I get it. Like, if you're a guide, I get it. That's your livelihood. You have to get your clients on fish. If you're just a random dude that posts on Fish Brain, bro, you've already thrown it in the trash. But I get it. I mean, and that's the beauty of the ego. Some people have one where they just have to show off their fish and make you want to be like them. Or some of them are genuinely like, hey, this is where I was catching fish. That's what they were biting. I think those are very noble citizens. But the local Facebook group we have here has been pretty easy about sharing. But it's North Carolina. Most people are posting farm pond catches.
Hell yeah.
So it's always weird when people are posting their catches, and they're saying what county or area they caught them in, because when they say that there's certain counties, there's no lakes there. You're only fishing farm ponds, and pretty sure once once the summer heat comes, those fish are going to be harder to catch, and you'll be posting less videos. That's my mindset of it. Spring, everybody posts their fish pics. That's something we always got to keep in mind. I would like to see the fish pics in the summer and the winter. Those are always the fun ones.
And I say it jokingly, but I don't know how much longer it's going to be a joke. But like with the rise of like AI, I'm waiting for there to be like one of the programs.
Find my spot.
No, well, okay, maybe, but like take like if let's say I upload a catch picture,
mm-hmm.
and I say, "Hey AI, change the background."
Oh.
Like remove this tree, add like a fucking shanty or something like that.
Put a
like,
desert,
like a
put a desert oasis in the back
something.
of my right shoulder.
Have that like an Applebee's sign, or like where the fuck were you? What truck stop are you at? Right,
yep.
Like just turning. I feel like that's probably going to be a thing pretty soon.
That'll be fire.
I mean, okay, so like we're heading in that direction, but I think it's look at the juxtaposition between like social media. Hey, look what I did, and then it's like, well, I don't want you to know how I did it.
Yep.
What? And it just like that's when it starts to get questionable, right? I mean, yeah. So I mean, people are already doing it. It's not like it's. I mean, it's going to become more prevalent, definitely. But man, it really makes you think like right now, because everything like, the live stream thing. Not that anybody asked, but one of the things that I really like about it is the fact that you can't really hide anything.
Yep.
Right. Like people are seeing everything, and it makes people like it keeps you honest. But marketing isn't honest. Trends, the pro level stuff and the different influences that a lot like that's not. It doesn't. Honesty isn't a prerequisite. There's no polygraph test to put a video online or to put a picture. So like when I'm talking like not working harder than the fish, it's not just the fish itself, but when you're dealing with the community, the local people, the environment. Back in the day, you go into the tackle shop, hey, what are they biting on? They'll tell you whatever the hell they want. I mean, you'd hope they'd be honest. But like, let's say there's like a pile of spinnerbaits in the corner that ain't selling. Like, nah, man, they've been hitting those, and we just got in a pack. We just got a new shipment in yesterday, so you better get them. You know what I mean? Like, it's probably not rampant, but we talk about like the information rule on the pro circles and how that's caused so many different things and topics to come up. But like that trickles down, right? Like, I mean,
everybody gets hit with that.
You can't avoid it. If you're dealing with social media, if you're watching the pro tours, if you're going on the social media groups, you will run into all of that eventually. It's not an if, but it's when. And the folks that don't want to deal with the drama, good luck. Right? Like you can't really avoid it. But I do encourage the folks that find themselves in those circles, or they're feeling like they're either losing motivation, or it's like, what's the point? I mean, you really got to start turning screens off. I mean, really, that's what it is. I mean, watch us when we're live, but no, I mean, turn the screens off, get out there.
You gotta be careful. I'll influence somebody to go buy a certain type of popper. It gets weird.
Damn right. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, Greg just put up a video today where he talked about he needed a fishing reset. I don't know if y'all saw it yet.
Yeah, he was tearing basically up them fucking fish today. That video.
Fresh off of like free squash, fresh off tournaments, and he's like, things sucked. I just need to go out and just catch.
That man
and I'm like,
did it.
That used to be the only goal, right? we had to go make shit complicated.
That was the only goal. Yeah, you're right.
Like now we have to reset, and I get where he's coming from because that's his thing. Like he's making his living doing it. I ain't mad at him. But I don't know if I would ever want to be at that point, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yep.
At least the way things are now, I couldn't, but even if I had the opportunity, I don't think I would want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So the same thing Greg has, I always like, that's why we were just talking about when I said my schedule, I have breaks that like you start feeling it and you got to get away from everything. No cameras, no chesty, just go. His reset is weird because he takes all the stuff that he does to go fish, with him. So it's not like it's a reset. It's just that he's just not tournament fishing. But to him, to call it a reset is also that's his version of a reset. I would not take any gear with me that would do any type of recording and or grabbing. It'd just be me out there fishing. But yeah, to each their own.
Well, there's a camera everywhere now, so
True.
even if you don't have it on a GoPro, the government's got it somewhere.
There were definitely a couple of Blackhawks flying around, so they saw me.
It happens.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. You do something usually under the guise of like, it's supposed to be a relaxing thing. I don't know about y'all, but some of the most stress I've dealt with in the past couple of years has been fishing, and I think it's the pressure, right? Like to succeed.
Man.
And like when we're out there, y'all may have seen it, but like when I'm fucking like cussing myself, like that's not showed. Like even if the stream wasn't going, like I would be out there just cussing to myself and have no qualms about it. Like I'm like it's a problem, and it's really it's self-directed frustration. It's not like, I mean, I love excuses. Don't get me wrong. Holy shit, I love excuses. But like if there is none, it's like it's a deficit.
Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's, and then those moments make the good moments that much more rewarding because you know what it's like to break off on a hook set. So when you don't break off on a hook set and you got that 27-pound snapping turtle just hissing at you, it brings it together. I mean, this is these are things that you just don't, you can't put it into a Hallmark card and express to other people. Like you really got to be out there losing fingers and Cincos. It's one of those type of deals. Now, all that being said, there's a disclaimer. There's an asterisk attached to a lot of this, and the short form is who cares, but the long form is you all should. We all should. Like nobody's immune to it. It's fatigue. It's like it's the frustration. And I've asked myself on numerous occasions in different languages, where does this come from? So the shortest answer, the most concise response is working harder than the fish. And I encourage everybody to like, especially when you're getting frustrated, if you're a content creator or not, if you're a content, watcher and you're trying to like get inspiration to try something new because you're tired of, burning yourself out on the same 2 or 3 presentations or lakes, whatever, that's the kind of like internal dialogue. Am I working harder than the fish? That can probably save your butt. And when I say that, like save your sanity, allow you to still have fun and not worry about the dudes that are having the ego trip at the boat ramp. They're going to do it regardless. That's their life. They got to deal with. And if they're not happy with it and they want to get pissed at the ramp about X, Y, and Z, that's fine. Let them do it. Strawberry jams, my Glock don't, and that's fine. But the point being is, like, don't you when you're losing sight of just day to day, just like it's just nice, you bust your ass at work all week. It's nice to go out on a weekend, even if we're just pulling up blue GGs on, bobbers and bread. That's fine.
The blue GGs,
great.
I like it.
Well, like that's just hell yeah. You know what I mean? Like you could easily not have the time to do that. And like the tournament folks, like as much as I like it, I don't think I like it that much. At least not right now.
You gotta have stress management, man. You gotta have the stress management.
I mean, I feel like like benzodiazepines are performance enhancers.
Oh yeah, you gotta be careful. You can't be out there,
like,
big facts.
Like tournament, because you're just like it's just fucking stress. It's like you're up early and there's a lot of like lights and horns and like people are all pulling up in the parking lot pissed off because they haven't had 4 cups of coffee yet. It's just like. It's just not an uncomfortable environment. It's just not. Man. And I know like the montage behind the scene videos the pros put out, like, it's pretty, it's got like a spectacle element to it, and that's fine. But like, your local event down at like the lake that has a tournament every weekend, like, the biggest spectacle is when somebody pushed over the porter potty last week. Like, you know what I mean? It's not, like this big ass production kind of situation. And then I feel like it can burn people out. And it's just, it sucks to see it, but I mean, it's going to happen. I guess, I would encourage folks to try to catch it before it starts really being a part of like your day to day. And again, that looks different for everybody.
Yep.
And whatever that looks like. I mean, by all means, something that y'all can bring, to the table, especially like if you're watching our broadcast. Like if you just need to like have that reset or whatever you want to call it, um, great. You know what I mean? Like you can hash it out. Or if you're like, hey, like I want to try something new to just switch things up, give me a recommendation. Like you're probably not doing what I'm doing, so here I'll show you what I'm doing and just give you like, here, take this, throw this in this type of spots. Hold on, you know what I mean? Like don't even try to put it into like this like very methodical, like linear math equation. It's just not, man. Fish are dumb. You guys know this. They're not stupid. They're dumb. There's a difference. And those that have done this a while know what I mean when I say that. So again, don't work harder than these damn fish, please. There's no benefit. It doesn't get better just because you've lost more sleep to the next guy. Or does it?
I don't think so. I think the tournament guys gotta have a reason to do it. Maybe it's just that competitive version of them. I don't know. I'm still pretty sane, and I've been in some pretty high stress situations. Not too bad.
Is that why you got more gray hair in your beard?
No, that's natural. I can't solve that because okay. I don't have like top of my head doesn't have too many gray. Oh, it does now. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe no, but no, it's not from stress. I can tell you that. Well, my reason for fishing is different, so maybe that's why too.
Do it for the fame.
I definitely do it for my sanity.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah, same difference.
What is Michael saying? What is he? He'd hate to wake up in the morning and feel like he had to go fishing.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a pretty
professionals is different. Yeah, I don't. My thought process too, and this is only towards like the high competitive professional level. You got to drive at least 600 plus miles between tournaments to get to the next spot. That is so stressful. And my thought process is like, I just finished this tournament. I did good or I did bad. Oh, I got to hit the road for about, 7 to 12 hours and then be ready to run this thing back. So, yeah, you don't really get time for yourself. They probably do in their own little way, but yeah, that thought process scares me. But like I said, at a professional level, I guess that's what you're supposed to do. I can go for any professional sport. Basketball players not just going on to play pickup games and go home. He's playing a game and then studying to get better to go against the next team, so on and so forth. So yeah, you really gotta really love it to be in that level of the sport. But yeah,
I think that like the 90s or the 80s, the 90s, right? Like nobody knows you other than when you're at the weigh-in.
Yep.
Now take like social media presence, sponsor requirements, making sure the wrap on your boat in your truck is visible so people can see your sponsors.
You gotta have the marketing and advertising.
It's almost as if like it's getting to the point where the time that you're spending actually on the water is one of the least productive times for you as a brand. Because remember, it's about brands. We went over this a couple episodes ago.
Yep.
It's not about you anymore.
Yep.
It's your brand, your followers, your presence that is above and beyond what it is that you're doing. Where back in the day, no, it's like, oh shit, there's Rick Clunn rocking his like vest and he's got his boat and his like trucker hat. And we're gonna see him at the weigh-in to take a picture that we gotta go get developed. At the Rite Aid or whatever next week. You know what I mean? Like it's such like it culminates into this awesome experience. And now it's like dudes are cutting like Instagram videos, pulling in the gas station, and like there's like two chickens like fighting or something. Like, oh, you know what I mean? Like it's just cool, right? I mean, they're people too. That's fine. But it's just not. It's not attractive, right? I mean, that might be the wrong word, but you know what I mean. and these are the folks that are kind of setting the trends. I mean, this is these are the role models. I think obviously with social media content creators, it's shifted. I remember there was not really a huge, but there was a pretty significant to me thing, because you know how much I love content creators. I remember when the dude Noah, known as Kicking Their Bass TV, got like his signature rods with lures,
Yep.
and people were just so either fucking excited or pissed. Um, and I couldn't. I mean, I looked at it for a second, and I can give or take. I'm like, I mean, I don't. I've watched some of this stuff, but it is what it is. Um, and I had put a comment on something, probably Instagram thing, where I said, from Lou's perspective, this is great marketing, because if you go out today and survey every person that you see at the at the tackle shop or at the ramp or wherever, more people are going to know who he is than people are going to know who Bill Dance is. And
In a way, I can, yeah.
if they're under the age of 20, yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's definitely to bridge a gap in an age group where he's hot steam and within the youth. Those are his demographic. So, and I'm pretty sure in their marketing deal, he showed them his demographic number, his stats and stuff like that to reach that type of demographic comparative to anybody who rivaled him on YouTube. So he probably marketed himself really well in that position.
It's a brand. Hell yeah.
Yeah. He definitely hit that lane, and maybe I mean I didn't purchase any of his rods, but I definitely know that I've seen them, and I've seen maybe one or two kids with them. So he sold to the demographic that it was created for. That's pretty good, but then that goes back to the work harder than the fish. He definitely put in the time to do that because fishing wise, he's a normal kid. Well, he's an adult now, a normal young man fishing. There's nothing. I've watched most of his content. It takes a couple of days for a video to come out. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. It's just a weird. I mean, I don't know where we go from here. I mean, it's
our norm. I think the thought process of going backwards is irrelevant. I think we have to accept that for our viewing entertainment of the sport of fishing, we're going to have to accept everything, therefore created now and going forward, plus more later. I'm in the boat of yep, I'm here. Just let me know when we're done.
Wake me up when it's over. Okay, great. But that flies against the FOMO kind of stuff going on too, because that's a huge component. I mean, these are it's just like a lot of, because I mean, ideally, you'd really, I think it'd be nice for folks to jump into something and enjoy it, and that's it.
Yeah.
I did this, it was cool, great stuff, all right. But that's so difficult. That's so difficult to do, especially if you're kind of like the pandemic surge of folks that got out because they really only could do stuff outdoors, so they're getting into hobbies and all this kind of stuff. And then like we're essentially coming down from the tail end of that. I mean, you can kind of do whatever to some extent, even though my PO says I shouldn't. The point being is you have opportunities to really expand upon, like, is this something I want to do, or do I need to just sell all my shit on Facebook Marketplace and keep it moving?
I don't know. I think in this natural sense, everybody should learn how to fish or be, some type of education. There's more water than land, so it's definitely a skill you should have before the fun side kicks in. Just like swimming, and I wish financing was one of them. But yeah, just life skills that you have to have. I would always say everybody needs to learn how to fish, and then if fishing is a sport that you enjoy, I think you should, just like any other thing, try it out for a bit. But the outside noise that goes around fishing, especially socially, that's each their own. If your social media antenna are up, you're going to be in there first and foremost. But if not, I'm pretty sure it'll pass by your feed and your algorithm. You wouldn't have too much to worry about. You can't, Wade said you can't get your PB unless your pole's in the water. Yeah.
Tell that to Mike Long.
Wow, Mr. Snatcher.
So I mean, let's open. We're doing a lot of philosophical covering today, so everybody buckle up if you haven't already. I'm interested if folks wanted to put in the chats, like when do you have the most fun? Like what is the environment? What is the situation that you find yourself in?
That's a good
Fishing,
question.
excuse me. Let me clarify. While fishing, what kind of situation do you find yourself more likely to have the most fun? When I say fun, we're talking good memories. You want to tell people about it. If you took pictures, great, but if you didn't, that's fine too. What does that look like for folks
I like
that want
that.
to share? Obviously, you don't have to,
I
but
I
I'm
can
interested.
I'll share mine. Fishing with other people fishing that are f- trying to figure out how to get a pattern or a bite going, and then just throwing out ideas. I like the troubleshooting and the puzzle work of fishing more than I do like the fishing. I like the analytical thought process of people coming together and trying to figure out these fish like this thing, or these fish over here do this certain thing different. I love that part about it. So that's where I have my most fun, is analytically either working with or against other people, most likely in tournaments, to figure out um, the bite, and then talking and then doing a debrief and analysis of it. That's my favorite. Like, those are always fun for me.
So the mind games,
Yeah, the you against the lake thought process. It's always really fun.
some of like the predator prey instincts and how they've evolved over the years. Some
Yeah,
primitive motivations
yeah.
for stalking down something lower on the food chain.
Drew Gregory, during the Bashu brunch, he was talking about it when he went to a tournament in, I want to say it was the Lake Fork. It might have been another tournament, but there was a particular type of bass that he was looking at on the marine biology side that lived up in the rivers, but it was similar to a spotted bass. So this might have been the 10 killer. So there was a certain bass that was up higher in the river system than the spotted bass that were in the main lake. So his research, when he wanted to go fish the river, he realized that the fish that were sitting up so high up in that river system, they would get fatter, but they wouldn't get longer than the main lake stuff.
Just like me.
So he had to, once he started looking at the species of the fish that he wanted to try to catch in a certain area, it limited where he would go on the lake based off of previous history and just different records of fish caught there, and that narrowed down his practice going in. And then yeah, I thought that was really really dope. It was not a shoal bass. He was like west. He wasn't south. But yeah, shoal bass, that also goes like, when you get to like that below Seminole status, that Georgia Florida line, your fish are probably going to be mixed, so you won't have the pure shoal bass. You might get a couple of other ones, but the F1 strain won't get as big in the river as a shoal bass, so you wouldn't want to go closer to Florida. You want to stay in that Georgia area, things like that. But yeah, I like that thought process. That's fun to me.
So we're seeing the kind of social connectivity mixed with the competitiveness, mixed with, well, everything. I mean, okay, so I mean, it's going to depend, right? There's no like, and some of it's probably in retrospect. When I mean that, like sometimes you put yourself in a situation, or you find yourself in a situation, and things go a certain way, and you're like, all right, that was fun, or all right, that sucked. Um,
Mic drop
you know,
on
it's a
YouTube.
it's it's individual it's individual efforts, but like the collaboration, the planning. Like I remember the days of sitting down with like the topo map, the paper map, and like you know circling spots. Like yeah, let's go there. Let's look at this. Nowadays you search any body of water on YouTube and you'll probably see somebody going around doing something. Okay, that
Facts.
wasn't always a thing.
Yeah, that
Um,
definitely was not.
you got to know somebody, talk to somebody. Hope the dudes at the tackle
The
shop
shop
weren't
are
trying to blow
honest.
smoke, or
Facts.
grab you a map and just start hoping for the best, figuring out on the fly. Not a lot of preparatory kind of stuff, but I mean, that's all different. That's all changed. It'll never go back to the way it was, and that's fine. But the pressure's there. You got more people. There's the safety stuff that comes up. I mean, we've had some pretty significant accidents that have been high profile and reported recently, and that's going to continue to happen. Obviously, we don't want it to, but it's a matter of time. You put that many people on a body of water. The people that have different, opinions on certain things, like, you know, the different attitudes, like the Karen videos, the Doc videos, like all those confrontation based, like click farming situations. I mean, it's still going to happen. You're going to have your rednecks with guns. I mean, it's like all that kind of same shenanigans. Good gosh, man. Like, you get to the point where you kind of, we're trying to do this to de stress a little bit. And it's like, man, the next cove could be a whole bunch of fucking problems that you just don't want to deal with. Should that be enough to make you like say I'm not going? No, but I mean, you got to understand it. It unfortunately comes with the territory. Um, you just have to. I mean, it literally like probably every other day, every other weekend, especially from like freaking February until November, you got like the big, thing where they talk about look how close this person got, and kayakers think they own the water, boaters think they own the water. Um, Golly, man, it's like that background noise, that chatter, that kind of just stuff that just happens. Uh, it's always been that way. It's just now everybody has a camera in their pocket, so now you can be brought everywhere. Um, Geez, man, like it's just. I think it's unfortunately way too easy to kind of fall into the trap of like I don't want to. I ain't got time to deal with this kind of shit. Like I only got 5 hours.
You getting influenced, man. You getting influenced
Is
by
that
the
what?
socials. Yeah, you got to chill out.
God dang, I gotta
They
turn off. So as of tomorrow, I'm deactivating all these links you see right here.
you gotta.
They will be deactivated
No,
effective. Who wants to buy my Twitch channel?
damn.
I got 1,020 followers and maybe 75 are actual people.
There
The
you
bidding
go.
will start at $45. No, it's just one of those things, man. Like
You gotta watch what you gotta watch. You gotta watch what you consume. You gotta make sure it doesn't affect you.
jump on the diet.
Yeah, man.
Well, it's easier said than done, but
Facts.
all the folks. I mean, I'll do my own thing. I'm not saying I'm not bringing this, and hopefully nobody thinks this is like a bitch out session. Like this isn't a complaint fest. It may sound like that, and I'll stop. I've been doing it for hours, so I'll stop. But the point being is, especially if you're prone to like overthinking and overanalyzing and like really, again, I spend more time in the water in my thoughts every week than I actually do when I'm physically able to. And if you know what I'm saying, you know exactly what I'm saying when I say that. And there's danger associated with that, because if you get hyped up into this idea of exactly how you want things to go when you actually get out there, and then you find out that it either doesn't happen like that or it's not possible for other reasons, it's deflating and it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's a symptom of working harder than the fish, but it definitely feels like it.
That is definitely working harder than the fish because that's my story in a nutshell. Definitely
It sucks, man. It's a trap. I feel like you don't realize it till you're right in the middle of that shit, and you're like, golly, how did I get here?
Oh man, it's part of the game. It's part of the game.
Let's see, I don't like that.
Hey, you're not supposed to like it.
What the hell?
I don't think you're supposed to like it. You're supposed to accept it.
See, that's the problem.
Yep.
My shit ain't like Visa card, bro. It's not accepted.
It's
everywhere.
not accepted. I'm gonna follow what Mike's. He was saying when his daughter was young, he used to be on the water with her. She didn't. If she fished or not, she'd just be out there reading a book. That's a really good fun time. My mom was like that when I was a kid. I didn't have fun, but I enjoyed her being out there to watch me bring out fish and show her. I thought that was the fun part. But yeah, all she wanted to do was be out there reading a book and try not to get bit by mosquitoes. But yeah,
That's probably tougher than the fishing.
yeah. Guy on the right looks so familiar. Oh, sorry, I don't know. It depends on who's right. Flip the screen real quick.
Whoever's on the right can still be wrong.
Yo, big facts. Couple of lefts.
But Banana Man makes a good point. It's good to disconnect, if possible. I mean, yeah, right. I mean, I don't know.
It's hard.
I mean,
That's hard to disconnect. Now,
is it nice? Yes, it is. It's nice to be able to, but at the same time, choosing what you connect with and how you connect to it, right? Like you're just not going to watch, you can't watch all the videos, you can't watch all the talk shows, you can't read all the articles. You can't. So, great. Fine, having that kind of go to the regimented routines and stuff is nice, but it's not always. You got to draw the line somewhere, and again, everybody's line drawing is susceptible to their experiences and what they want. I mean, there's just so much shit that you can waste your time spending any level of energy and effort engaging in. It's like, is ignorance bliss when it comes to this kind of stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, it's rough. It is. It can definitely be a double-bladed sword on that in that situation, because you can easily fall into a trap or miss some key information.
Either way, y'all gotta stop me from talking about more nonsensical stuff, because these are my problems, my thoughts, not y'all's thoughts.
I was hoping more people will talk about the fun part. I think just Alicon and Mike have posted, man.
Mike brought up a good thing. I saw Morty talk about Twitch tournaments, and I mean, I think, yeah, I mean those there's been a lot of efforts to kind of to pull that into existence and have
Morty
that more
posted.
interactive kind of community focused
My bad,
stuff,
Morty.
which is always good. I mean, there's nothing great. We're like let's do that. The logistics make it difficult, of course, but getting more people involved where it is more of a, I mean, it's entertainment at the heart of it for other people to enjoy, but the individuals themselves also participating. It can, it puts you, it'll put you in a situation that you may not have been in otherwise, and then that can be interesting as well. It makes it more of a novel experience. Keeping things fresh is important. Doing the same thing over and over and over again can get repetitive. We're not really made for that when it comes to stuff that's supposed to be fun. But I mean, it can get like Banana Man says, showing young people how to fish. Some kids ask how to fix. Teaching them how to cast. There you go.
That is legitimate. Too much fun. Getting somebody who doesn't know how to fish or willing to learn to fish. Man, I love it.
Sharing the knowledge, passing the torch.
Passing the torch. Laser Beam says, "Oh, he thrives under pressure. I like it. That's normally how I am. I just think better." It is definitely not for the weak. that shit is stressful, but it is not brain breaking stress. I guess if I was putting more money on the line, I might be in a different thought process, but I'm not professionally throwing out 4,000, 5,000 per tournament. Yo, Fro, what's up, man? Welcome back. Thank you so much for the raid. Hopefully you were out fishing, having a great time. What is today? The weekend tournaments? The weeknight tournaments? Hopefully you did well out there.
Okay, yeah. No, I've been doing that too.
Nice.
Making a bunch of extra stuff. Like, I'm not going to need 300 jigs probably anytime ever. Just giving them out to people.
Alex is still in the secret. Sharing secrets, not keeping secrets phase. I have no secrets. I try not to have too many secrets from other anglers. If you're struggling on the water, my wife hates it. If you're struggling on the water and I'm doing good, I'm telling you how to catch them, tournament or no tournament. It don't matter. I think everybody should be out there catching fish.
I think Elvis would beg to differ, but to each his own.
Yeah, he was in the river. Dude was catching them. He was catching them.
So when you call him, drop a pin and tell him.
I told everybody, listen, I put the whole video up there. They seen it. I ain't hiding nothing from nobody. Elvis puts his videos up. Tyler put his video. I mean, everybody put their videos up for the most part. I think anybody's trying to hide too much. There was no secrets. I didn't have a secret bait that I was keeping away from anybody. There's expensive baits, but not not secret baits. Catch. Oh, dang it. I just remembered I missed the dang clutch swim bait drop today. Dang, man.
What were you trying to get?
The new well, it's not new. They just did a rerun of the Baby Boss swim baits, glide baits. Dang, I completely forgot. Let me see.
Well, the great thing about Temu,
Sold out. Oof. Big oof. Missed that one. Try again.
well, what if you get like a standard, any old name?
Oh yeah, most
glide
def.
bait,
I'm gonna have to
but
sit
you
there and tune it.
take a picture from the movie Boss Baby and take that picture and put it on the side of it.
They're gonna come
So it's
after.
not-
They're gonna come after me. That's the other name for it. That's actually the other name for it. Yeah. Yep. It's on their site. It's the it's the Baby Boss / Boss Baby.
So we got some copyright.
Yeah,
hurdles.
I'm gonna get hurt for that one.
I don't know, man. Trophy bowfin might be on the line.
Ooh, I would hate for a bowfin to hit $160 bait and tear it apart. I would hate.
Nothing's forever.
Yeah, facts. If the
Except for
bowfin don't get
bankruptcy.
it, nah, that's not forever. I mean, I was about to start going political.
Anyways,
Ugh, that's my target fish of this year. It's a bowfin. Well,
my
I mean,
apologies.
you better be ready to deal. You better have the right terminal for that thing because they're not nice.
Bring gloves.
They are not nice. They are a fun fish to catch, but they are not nice to your equipment at all. They are rough. All facets of the word.
It's great stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely not a cheap bait, but it's not an expensive. It's not over the top expensive like trying to get a Roman made.
Hopefully.
How are you catching bowfin on Whack-A-Mole? Were you running the bank line, or were you running cypress trees? They're on brush piles. They go get away from them. Get off the bank at Whack-A-Mole, man. They're out in the middle. I was planning to go out there to this week, but I ain't gonna work. If I get out there, maybe a Saturday. I don't even think I'll be able to get out there.
So you're not going to whack them all at Whack-A-Mole?
Yo, Lake Whack-A-Mole got dinosaurs, T. That's where you need to come down and fish with your boat.
Hell no. If that shit looking like Jurassic Park.
This will be like
no.
4 hours for you. Never mind. Nah, never mind.
Yeah, my trailer ain't making it that far.
Oh, you wanted to fish the canals? Yeah, you're gonna bump into nothing but bowfin and alligators. Yeah, that's your fault. Yep, it's damn gator. Yes, all the canals holding at least 6 gators apiece.
It's a Florida simulator? Hell no.
Yeah, it's definitely that like full Floridian experience at Whack-A-Mole. Full Floridian, like even the bass. I think the biggest caught out of there. I don't think they hold a lot of weight, but lengthwise, 25 inches. T, like that's
Damn.
yeah. That's almost that should be a 10-pounder on a perfect day. Like it's all Florida strain.
Oh, I feel bad for the fish.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everything about Waccamaw is Florida feeling.
Dang. Well, sounds like it, especially when it comes to bowfin. You don't want to be
Yeah,
working harder than the fish.
no, off the plantation. How, howdy, what do you guys fish for? We fish for fish, mostly fresh waters.
You know, my favorite fish to catch is the next one.
I was about to say white perch.
Yo, hey,
You haven't been cursed yet, man. You've been holding it down this year so far.
I've got a couple
Nah, I mean, but you went through some spells where it was nothing but white perch.
because they like me.
Yo, you were officially tearing them mother suckers up.
Do you all have them down there? Have they made it to y'all yet? Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so
Well,
because I want to say I remember when Original Tech was catching them during like the winter when he was doing like the blade bait
blade
straight
bait.
down. He was just pulling them up.
Yeah, Falls Lake holds a crazy amount. Same thing over at Sharon Harris. For the most part, has a lot, but they're so tuned in on chasing bait that they don't even care. They'll be following like hybrids all around that dang lake. Jordan Lake, I've caught. I almost got the full. No, I think I did do the complete. I caught a striped bass, a white bass, and a largemouth bass all in the same day, which is rare because the striped bass are super rare now on Jordan. But yeah, the white bass there, if you find them, they're going to be stacked.
Yeah, it's a white perch like the smallest member of like the white the temperate
Mm-hmm.
bass family, and they're known for quick reproduction, and they can live in brackish, even saltwater.
Saltwater,
But
yep.
I mean, they can absolutely make it in landlocked freshwater. So that like they can live damn near anywhere. They eat fish eggs from other species.
Mm-hmm.
They grow pretty quickly, but that just means they eat a lot because they have to, or otherwise
Yep.
they can't grow pretty quickly. So like I mean, like they're always hungry. They school up. They're just, I mean, people eat them. Don't get me wrong. I mean, people eat them, so it's kind of like a food source. Uh, but they're just everywhere, and they hit lures. Like I caught like two or three trophy size ones for Virginia at least, like on like largemouth lure, like top waters, like full blown walking baits, and they're just hitting that shit. I'm like, what is going on?
What part of
And they
NC
don't
you
fight,
fishing?
right? They smell bad and they don't fight.
They don't. They smell bad and they poop everywhere, just like white bass.
It's just constant, straight. Like the world is their toilet. It's a problem.
I fish. I fish all of NC, but I'm in the RDU area, so I fish a lot of the main three. But yeah, I mean, like I said, last week I was just all the way on the far west end in Asheville, and then next week I'll be in Charlotte, and week following that I'll be in Raleigh. So I fish all NC.
Just wait and see.
Wait and see. You'll see me in NC. Oh, damn. Got the shimmies and everything with it?
That's what it is, man. I drank some coffee. I'm ready.
I come to Fayetteville once a year at least. Nice. I'm pretty close to Fayetteville. Yeah, it's Spanish mackerels rolling in until we get that really hot summer, and then they're going to be moving out again.
Can't commit.
Yep. Spanish Max. Shoot. We can probably slap them off the dang docks. I don't even know how to prepare Spanish mackerel. I've only had Spanish mackerel once. Oof. That's
Enough
another
A1
thing.
sauce.
I need I definitely need to make a saltwater trip this year. Ugh.
Got to dust off the Salt Life UPF shirt.
Yeah, man. Live, love, salt.
So what's on y'all's minds? We'll open the floor up a little earlier than usual,
Oh yeah, we're
just so I
talking
can
this
stop
early.
talking about a bunch of random crap. Any hot topics pressing on y'all's minds, ideas, or otherwise? We got a raid. We got a JB raid.
Hey, they was out fishing the riprap, man. Welcome everybody from JB Fishing with Dad
We
stream.
just got done talking for the past hour and a half about how to successfully evade taxes. Y'all are
Yeah,
gonna have to hit
yeah,
rewind on the VOD because we can't by law discuss it any longer.
yeah. Y'all are good. Y'all ain't missed nothing in that in that regard. We were talking about fishing, influence, and how does that
Sounds a lot
affect?
better.
And how does that affect you on and off the water? That has been our talk today. We're also talking about what makes, and you guys could jump in at any point as we throw out these topics. What makes fishing fun for you guys and gals out there? Put out a moment. We'll talk about it, or you can talk about it, however, whichever. But yeah, welcome everybody. Floor is open right now. We're just doing open mic stuff.
Floor is lava.
Oh, I don't know about that part, but yeah. But going back to what you were saying about the horrible news reports, I was just catching up on the one down in Texas where old girl got hit with a jet ski. I thought that was horrible, and then they finally caught a person, one of the people involved in that situation. But yeah, that's scary, and she wasn't too far off of like land when it happened, so that makes it even worse. Yeah, but yeah, just going with social media and how you were saying how it influenced. I thought that was a horrible situation, but yeah, definitely doesn't deter me. Puts my antenna up a lot higher now, and then going with all the other news that we've been getting week by week with people on the water, definitely can affect stuff. What makes fishing fun when Alex teaches me to snipe beds. I didn't teach you to snipe beds. I taught you free rigging, and then I showed you what a bed looks like. You put one plus one together. You were
What's
the
that
one.
say less?
Yo, my man was an abductor of bedding fish. Like, I did not teach him how to do that. You did that one yourself. You put two things that we were talking about that day into play, and you combined them for your own sniping pleasure. Oh
See it in
man.
court.
Oh man.
Again.
Again.
Yeah, if anybody is going to freaking be on a body of water that's got like recreational stuff going on, it's between Memorial Day weekend and Labor Day weekend, your head needs to be on a swivel at all times.
You should look at Tatum 44 stream. He does a lot of creative baits. I don't think he's ever done a glass bait. If you were going to do a glass bait that's not heavy, you would probably have to blow your own glass and then figure out your weight displacement. But then you're also going to have a fragile bait. I think plastic and wood are probably going to be the best your best mediums. Oh man,
He does blow glass.
yeah, but that's still tough. You're gonna have you got to make sure you evenly blow both of the walls of the dang thing. Like, yeah, nah. I think it'll be best just make like a crankbait, not a crankbait, like a lipless, and keep it solid but small.
You could do like a glass like rod holder, like a 2 or 3, because it's heavy enough to where it's not going to fall over. You don't have to put it in the ground, because a lot of like rod holders for bank fishing, you got to put in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is the ground that you're on isn't always conducive for you to jam in a big ass piece of PVC with a spike on it in there. But a glass one may just be heavy enough, depending on how you formulate it, to where you wouldn't have to put it into the ground. Or for a boat, either way. But I'm thinking like bank fishing, like, our dudes that do the catfish and carp thing, or really anything that requires like a rod holder. A glass one should probably be heavy enough so where you don't have to have it in the ground and still have it stable. Just an idea. I feel like we can expand upon that.
Did you guys watch the Bassmaster and Sabine? I definitely watched most of it. After day 1, I think I caught day 3 in championship Sunday.
Borosilicate is stronger than you think. I don't know anything about Pokemon, but let's see. Your buddy Pat won. Pat. Schlapper,
Mr. Buzzbait.
Pat Schlapper Here's the thing, and we mentioned this last episode at the end. I was like, "Hey, everybody, get ready for like the 11-pound bags."
Yep.
Um, everybody's favorite elite pro Milliken put up a video where he's talking about like we're fishing for $100,000 here, and yeah, I don't know. Like it's funny. Like the people that are actually competing, they don't seem to really enjoy it, but like when you're leaving tournaments where people are crossing century belts, and then you go somewhere where you're lucky to get a 10-pound bag. Oh my gosh. But no, I mean old school. Um, and the NPFL, they just had a Douglas Lake event,
Douglas. Oh,
and they
Douglas.
had old Mr. Welcher, who had just won the local here tournament with that highest win margin ever. He was on camera during the NPFL final day coverage saying that he said it literally. This is real fishing. Like he's out there, throwing frog and swim jig and stuff like this is real fishing. So here's a dude that just won a blue trophy, and he's down there on Douglas or over there in Douglas, and he's talking about like, all right, this is real. So I mean, he's trying to, it's you don't have to read between the lines too far, but like that's kind of what the dudes are into. Another thing I'll also mention just real quick because why not? I was watching the last day, the replay of the third and final day coverage of the NPFL Douglas, and one of the first dudes, I forget dude's name off the top of my head because I can't remember too much at this time of night. And he's like going around these it's like a marina, and there's boat slips on like floating docks. And how many times have y'all seen videos where somebody's going around fishing floating marina docks, and somebody comes out and they're all pissed, they're like, oh, you can't fish here, and there's this big ass thing.
Right.
And this idea is people say shit like, oh, well, we don't want you like casting and hitting our boats. Like you can fish here, cool, but like we don't want you smacking our boats. And of course there's always like the I'm not going to, or I've been doing this a while. Like there's always that rebuttal. And the dude that they had live boat coverage, they were showing how he was catching fish good the day prior at the same boat slip and everything. And they got him on camera, like back to back to back. Like first cast, bounces off the boat. Yep. Second cast, fucking clangs a damn bladed jig off a pontoon.
Ding.
2 seconds later, bangs the same jig off the same pontoon. And then he eventually says shit like, I guess I'm too close. And then he starts going, you know what I mean? Like, so he's got live camera action of him panging the living piss out of the pontoons with the bladed jig.
Working them.
And it's like, this is why those folks come out and harass people, because they don't want their shit getting hit. And this is a pro dude. Like you see him casting after that, and he's doing just fine and going between the pontoons and like the motor and like, actually doing the damn thing. But he's just pinging them just like loud as shit. Slap. Like, golly, man. Like y'all need to like edit that out of the replay, man. Like,
no, let it rip.
It's not a good look.
Keep it real. Going back to laser beams, the thought process, and going back to just influences and talking. And if you look at that, the top 25 of that, and if it's about FFS, if it's not, if it's about younger anglers or people who can catch them, there were a lot of high-profile FFS users that actually did well in that tournament. And I think that should also be a statement, or that should hold as much weight in the thought process of FFS just as much as it not being an FFS tournament. Like it wasn't a heavy FFS tournament, because a lot of those young anglers and kids, we'll just call them kids, they're whipping the living snot out of the older generation of anglers at the moment. So I wanted to also put a star on that, because I know we can talk about how FFS in the industry and how some anglers are FFS like stronger than others, which sure, it's always going to be there, but it should also be noted they weren't using FFS and they still bodied 75 other anglers. That's all. It won't be a headline because of it won't play well. I guess it would be a good analytics for engagement, but it definitely won't sell the argument for like Randy and in the thought process of the non FFS groups. I'm too poor for FFS. It's getting cheaper if you got a boat. I'm too poor for a boat. I'll say that.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, no. For the entertainment and relatability, I agree, Laserbeam. But I was just throwing out like the thought process of the FFS thought process is because that was also like you can always say like when Trey or JT or were doing well, it was like yeah, because they're on the scope. Or if some of the Asian anglers were doing well, they'll always say it's because of the scope. But they all did pretty well without the scope on this tournament. So I think it's more so the anglers are pretty good and they have a skill set that doesn't really that isn't well adapted and adopted by the viewing mass.
Yeah, all the momentum that they might have gained from a viewership perspective will be gone by August when everybody's scoping smallmouth.
Yeah. They're heading up north, and it's going to be drop shots and tubes on the scope.
Hell yeah, twos.
Stupid tubes for everybody.
Tubes are love in life.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, he's yeah, that the personality is going to be there, but I'm just talking about the angler being a FFS only type of angler. That's the thought process. It's very scapegoatish, getting away from a real issue. And I thought that this tournament did pretty well on setting a stamp for that thought process and statement for a lot of those anglers that sit and watch the FFS all day. They did pretty damn decent.
Allegedly.
Yo, one of the kids had to get their polygraph test before the tournament. I forgot who it was. That was pretty good.
Biometrics. Yeah, no, old boats are fun. That's been a thing, right? Like that's a huge trend too, especially from content creation. Like people taking like older boats and buying them and like restoring them.
Yeah.
So it's talking about the '86 Skeeter. Like you find you like a late '80s, '90s, even early 2000s boat right now. Somebody's flipping, and like if you got a camera, if you like film that process, even if you're not like hardcore into doing content creation, like you would definitely like I don't know, it's something about it. Like it scratches that itch. Like watching something that's kind of just cruddy turn into something that's not.
Yeah.
Like that is definitely a thing. I mean, and it's relatable, right? Because not everybody's just dropping six figures on a boat. You can't. I mean, and the folks that can do that aren't watching that kind of stuff. They're too busy smuggling stuff to worry about, that kind of thing. But you're like your average, I say average, but you know what I mean? Like you're just general person that's, trying to like support themselves, their family, and they also want to go fishing. They can drop a couple grand on like a John boat, put some decks in it, put a damn trolling motor on it. And absolutely just like, do whatever it is that they would want to do and have fun with it and not stress out about, like a freaking payment and all that kind of stuff. It's a different mentality. No, yeah, like you find deals, especially folks that either don't know what they have or they inherited something like a pass down from a family situation.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to deal with it. Could have been well taken care of, and you really just got to tidy up some of the loose ends. I mean, boats are unless you beat them up or they're just plain not being made well, like they will last a long time.
That's good.
As long as you're not doing dumb stuff, or as long as there's no like, the biggest thing that's happened to my boat in the past 25 years of it existing is a damn big ass tree limb fell on it and dented one of the gunnels. And that was just because the tree next to my house sucks. It's not there anymore because I got time for it. But you know what I'm saying? Like the point being is like that had nothing to do with it being used for its actual purpose. They're kind of made to, absorb a lot of that BS. I'm actually getting ready to make, and I designed it today when I was under the influence of ibuprofen, a PVC dual kayak rack. I'm going to put it outside because I need to get room in the garage. So I already designed it. It's going to be all PVC. I just got to get the dimensions correct, and they go to Home Depot.
Is it going to be like a kayak stand?
Well, yeah, it'll be. I want to have them upside down, and I'm going to get the like the weather resistant covers, so they're not just hanging out in raw like sunlight or some shit like that all the time. So it'll just be like a 2-layer, and I'll show you. I'll probably film it so y'all can see it. But like there's a lot of just quick ways, and I'll have them just set up outside to where I can just grab them and go when we're prepping without spending a whole bunch of money because nobody's really trying to go broke trying to just store their stuff, right?
Facts.
So that kind of like the DIY mentality has become huge. I mean, that's the thing. If you definitely want to get like if you're doing the content creation thing, just make you a video and put the word hacks inside of it. Top 10 hacks, or how to use a bobber for something other. You know what I mean? Like just put the word hacks somewhere in there.
Algorithm chasing.
And that's gonna get so many different. It'll expand to other audiences, right? That becomes a thing. So if you find any hacks when it comes to whatever, do it, right? And even if you're not copying it, you can get inspired pretty quickly and turn it into a thing.
I like it.
Stuff like that. Top 10 hacks. Hell yeah. Y'all don't got garage real estate like that.
You're not gonna put the lift in there?
I would love to. I got my HVAC stuff all exposed. It's literally behind me. So like my ceiling space has been occupied.
Got you.
But I mean, all those kind of things, right? I mean, it makes it that can still make it interesting as well if you're trying to like adapt some. I mean, right now, like there's plenty of videos that people are putting up probably today where they're doing all like how they're rigging. Like that's the huge thing with kayak fishing right now too. Everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna rig out my kayak.
Dude, that's probably like the most views I've gotten on my YouTube is just from walkthroughs of my kayak rather than fishing.
Now I've said it before, and I know there's people watching now that do like the YouTube thing. If you want views, do not post your fishing.
Yep.
Everything but your gear, great. Your car, great. How you load your stuff into your car, great.
Perfect.
All of that. Do all of that. If you want new views and new subscribers, do not spend hours posting a montage of you catching fish because they don't care.
Yep.
And I'm speaking because I look at my analytics and all my shit. Like these two kayaks I got behind me combined have like 60,000 views.
Yep.
And they're just like I got one of the most famous Pelican Mustang 100Xs on YouTube right behind me, and nobody gives a shit
about the dangle.
About a catch, like got my personal best largemouth. Everybody's like, "Fuck you," but here's my kayak. They're like, "Hell yeah!" You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how it goes, dog. Like they don't care about your feelings or nothing. It's one of those kind of things.
Yeah, what's up, Benton? Oh man! All right, you need to word it different. I don't even think wording's going to help you, Banana. Compare if you do a kayak rigging video versus your best day on the water video. I guarantee you, and T said your rigging video is gonna blow up way longer and harder than your PB catch. Now, if you name drop the lake, the season, and the bait all in the title, and then you put a question mark at the end, you might rival it. You might find it.
It's a thing, man. Pull my analytics up one day. I'll take a screenshot, show you like fucking comparing fishing reels, like my LFS versus SLX video, 20,000 views. And they don't even make the fucking reels anymore.
Nope.
Still gets views. Gets like 400 views a week.
They're trying to find
and
that.
I'm just
thing.
like, Like I don't know why we're doing that. I still have them both. I use them all the time, but you know what I mean. Like, and I don't like how YouTube runs ads on my shit, and I'm not even monetized. So if you see an ad on my shit, I ain't getting nothing from it.
Oh,
Absolutely,
man.
I'm getting zero.
T
I don't
feeling.
even get street cred from that shit. Hell no.
Oh man.
I fought a snapping turtle, and everybody don't care. Like my life was in danger for I did it for the city, and don't nobody give a damn. Hell no, I ain't doing that no more.
No more? Come on now.
Hell no.
That's hilarious. All right, so we're rounding into 9:45. T, what we putting on the docket? We want them to bring up for next week, or what we want to talk about next week?
Next week we ain't gonna be here. You talking about 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks. My bad. For the next
You've been
episode.
up too long. You sound like me.
No. Yeah.
No, we'll be here next week. I don't know. Y'all just can't let me get on my soapbox because everybody's like, why is this dude talking about all this stuff? You got nothing to do. With a catch and cook at the Bass Pro parking lot, dumpster diving for free dock demons.
Dock demon devil diving.
Fishy deals at Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Can't believe
man.
what I found.
You know, Ollie be having gold.
If you need some dry rotted Zoom plastic,
Yeah,
the Ollie's will make sure you.
Yo, you're getting at least 2 packs of those for $4.
Good gosh, you better open them bags before you walk out.
Get like 3-year-old 6 cent lures. It's never seen the light of day. I don't know. We'll probably figure it out. I think we still got to do. I don't know. We gotta figure out how to facilitate a chat with the group. We can bring in some guests. What do you guys want? What you about to UV hit that thing again? Yo, how many times you gonna UV hit that thing?
Just 'cause you said
Solid, solid as a rock. Hey, UV'd it up.
that. UV hacks.
Yo, you about to get UV radiation. You keep playing around.
Man, this thing's probably gonna fall off the first time I use it. I
Yeah.
ain't even gonna snap it over my knee in the parking lot at the damn Ollie's Bargain Outlet.
I'm not seeing anything. Dang.
Did they?
I don't know.
I remember reading that they were trying to remove their ability to get a license,
Yeah.
like an actual fishing license, like lifetime ban.
Yeah.
Oh, 10 days in jail? Man, that ain't even long enough to get like jumped into a gang.
Oh man.
Yo, I've been to jail before. I'll tell you that much. I took a tour once. Everybody was really nice. So 10 days ain't nothing.
10 days. Well, they did their time. We'll see what comes out of it. I think they went too light on them, but we'll see.
They need to feel the weight of their crime.
They need to feel all the weight of their crimes because it wasn't just once. There's weights in these fish.
Freaking, you gotta send it. You gotta make them an example.
Yeah, really should have. I think they missed that opportunity.
But the streets don't forget,
Nope. They don't.
especially memory lane.
I think we're good. I don't think anybody has anything for next week. We'll come up with something. We'll cook something up. T's normally the mastermind of the titles, but I'll try to chip in and figure something out before the next 2 weeks.
It's a subtle message. Stop with the philosophical shit.
No, it still works.
Other people, other shows, current trends, and
oh God, we are not doing that.
in how to get the most out of your trip, or how to benefit from rigging your gear a certain way. Meanwhile, we're in here doing philosophical shit. I want to be quoting Socrates pretty soon. And everybody's gonna be like, "What the hell are we doing?"
Yeah, laser beam. They definitely missed out on a greater punishment. But yeah, we'll get into it. A lure draft, yeah, that'll be fun. We'll see. T gonna pull out a dang banjo minnow and then it's gonna win.
I was gonna go walking worm, but we'll go banjo.
The same difference.
I still have my VHS of how to use the banjo minnow if anybody's interested.
Man,
it works too. I watch it every year with the kids.
Holding on to that gold.
It's like, we don't want to watch the video again. I didn't ask if you wanted to.
Hey, we watching the banjo minnow then.
Sit down in a semicircle, crisscross applesauce.
Yeah, it came after the banjo minnow. Everybody remembers the helicopter lure. You had the EWG through that mother sucker while it spin and twist up your fucking line.
Hell yeah, you come back with
why did they never they never told you about that part of this fucking helicopter lure? That shit will twirl up your line if you didn't use their damn hooks. Like, why is there a swivel at the end of this EWG? Because
I ain't trying to get joked at the ramp. Let me put my own hook on there coming back and your line is wrapped around your damn neck.
Yeah. Got that twirly, brittle.
Flying lure. I stay in the flying lure because when I couldn't sleep and it's 2 a.m. and my man is putting a whooping on fishing in a big-ass aquarium tank, oh my brain chemistry was altered. It was a great thing.
Oh, man. All right, I'm not seeing too much, man. We're going to call it here. Man, I appreciate y'all coming in. Thanks for the raids. And shoot, which I don't think I'll be streaming anything soon. If anything, it'll be fun fishing. What about you, T? You got some fun fishing adventures coming up?
Well, I want my boat back, but I probably won't get it back this weekend. So I think we're gonna get out. Yeah, I want to go float around on some plastic and see if we can't get some more because it's still topwater season, y'all. So I'm still trying to get the fix.
Run them till they don't run no more.
So yeah, we're gonna do. I want to try to exploit the topwater bite for as long as possible.
I like it.
So if anybody is interested, probably Sunday morning is probably gonna be when I'm out, and we're gonna bring some frogs. I got my ploppers, probably buzz bait, and I might try walking bait. So I'm gonna try to get some experimentation done to figure out kind of what that looks like.
Nice.
Just to see what they're into, man. You know what I mean? Like the fish are dumb. They're just not stupid. So we're trying to figure out what it takes. Because I'll tell you, this guy right here, MVP the past couple weekends, a little plop.
Oh man,
60, the little plop 60 in bone. This guy right here,
plop 60.
He's been clocking in like he's got more PTO than anything else in the box. He's been nothing but working.
Tax free.
It's a great thing.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to y'all in 2 weeks.
In Spanish.
Adios.